Hey, what is up you guys? Darkson here back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Series Deadpool Legacy Collection, Marvel's Colossus. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you guys if you feel so inclined to please like the video and subscribe. It really does help my channel out and is absolutely free. Taking a look at the packaging over here, it's pretty much the exact same thing that we've seen with all the other newer Marvel Legends figures. This is part of the Deadpool Legacy Collection, so it is quite similar to that Wolverine one that we took a look at previously. Marvel Legends Series at the top of there, Marvel's Colossus, Deadpool Legacy Collection with the red in the background over there. At the side, you have Marvel's Colossus with a nice image and the Deadpool logo. Other side, kind of the same thing with the window box going on. At the top, you got the Deadpool logo over here, which looks nice. And at the bottom, you got a bunch of legalese along with the UPC code that you can see right there. And then the back over here, we can see the same image of Colossus, and then a little bit of a bio over there if you want to read it. And then it also shows the other figures you can collect in this wave, which is the Deadpool, Wolverine, and Headpool. I did do a review on the Wolverine, so make sure to go check that out. Taking a look at Colossus over here, what can I say? I really do like this character within the Deadpool films. I don't know much about him in the comics, but I am very glad to see him in action figure form so I can add him with all my other MCU Marvel Legends figures, seen as now the Fox universe and the Marvel Cinematic Universe are one. But yeah, it's great to see Colossus here. I will say I'm not entirely crazy about this figure. There is some parts of it that I'm not a huge fan of, but we'll get into that all. As for accessories over here, we can see that he does come with a extra head, and he's got the green teeth over there, which looks pretty cool. He's got two extra open hands, and those are nice to, do some different poses. And then you do have a book. I don't remember seeing this in the films, but I do think it's a really nice little detail. You can see over here, rule number 1, no killing anyone ever. Rule number 2, label everything in the refrigerator. So that's pretty awesome. I don't remember the book in the film, but I do remember that being a joke. I think it was in the second movie when Deadpool was trying to become an X-Men. So great detail. I absolutely love that. All right, so taking a closer look at Colossus over here. Yeah, he's like I said, it's a good looking figure. It's just, I don't know about this head sculpt over here. I get that it's trying to capture the look of a CGI character, but this just looks too comic booky to me. I don't know if it's just me and the way how I kind of see it, but it's just the details look so flat. Like, it's got the shiny sort of metallic look going on, but unlike, like most of the MCU characters, the figures that they put out, they have this sort of digital, like, 3D paint going on of some kind, and it helps with the realistic look of the characters. I feel like it's missing on this one here. Like, they could have definitely used a little bit of extra paint to bring out those details, or maybe just the sculpt is off. I'm not exactly sure. It just, I don't know. It doesn't look 100% to me. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. But he does have his X-Men suit over here, so you can see it's got the X going on. And yeah, this is pretty good. It's a nice, leathery looking material. You can see all the little different textures going throughout it, so no complaints on this. And then you got the arms over here. These look pretty nice as well too. Very comic booky though. It's the same kind of thing going on with the face. I just like the metal effects. I just think look kind of off, in my opinion. You guys might disagree, but I don't know. This is just how I'm seeing it. You can let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. But yeah, he's got the X-Men belt over here, and then the pants, and these look pretty nice as well too. And then yeah, the back of the pants over here, nothing too crazy going on. He's got the boots, and then little zippers on the boots as well too. All great stuff here on out. And then he's got 2 peg holes at the bottom of the feet. As for articulation, this is kind of where it gets a little bit odd. The head can move up only about that much, which is not that far. It can move down, it can move side to side. There's a bit of pivot in there as well too. The arms do have a butterfly joint in there, but they're also quite ratchety. So it can go up about that much, and then when you go forward and back, this is where I'm talking about. Listen. I don't know what joint they're using in there, but that is crazy. I like, it feels like I'm gonna break the figure. I've never seen this on a Marvel Legends figure before. yeah, maybe I just got to work it in a bit more. But that is very, very weird. You can move it all the way around because it's got that butterfly joint in there. Got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which move in about that far. You do have a wrist swivel over here along with a hinge, which goes in about that much. You got an ab crunch over here, which moves in about there, and then it moves back about there. Waist swivel in there. You do kick forward. He kicks back, and then on an angle, he can do the splits like that. Got an upper thigh cut going on over there, which is great. Double jointed knees, which move in about that far. You got a boot rotation in there too, which is a nice added touch. And then ankle articulation, which is down, up, and some pivot. As for some comparisons over here, as you can see, I do have the Negasonic Teenage Warhead from that X-Men Legacy 2-pack from ages ago. Actually, it might have only been 5 years ago now. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that it was in a 2-pack with the Deadpool over here. And finally, like, Negasonic Teenage Warhead was such an odd figure to put in a 2-pack with a Deadpool, just because, like, I always imagined her paired with Colossus over here. And now, finally, we do have her paired with Colossus, so these two look great together. If you do have that Negasonic Teenage Warhead, I highly suggest getting this Colossus to go with that. And then also, we do have the Wolverine over here from the same wave as this Colossus. I did do a review on this guy. Be sure to check it out. And then behind him, there's the Deadpool from that 2-pack, and also from the second Deadpool movie. If you like to compare this figure to some figures you have at home, you can see over here that it does stand at about 7.5 inches tall. Alright, so final thoughts on this Colossus figure. Honestly, I'm going to be completely transparent. I don't know much about the character, but I do know him from the films. I absolutely love the Deadpool films, and this is a pretty good representation of Colossus within those films. I will say it does look a little bit too comic booky for my taste in comparing it to other, cinematic figures. But it does do the job at the end of the day. I do feel like that this is a couple years late too. I feel like this should have been the figure that came in with that 2-pack of the Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Deadpool. Should have been Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. This is a figure that should have come out a while ago. I'm glad that we're finally getting it now. They could have done a little bit better on the likeness, but honestly, sculpting detail is fine in it. Paint is pretty good for the most part. It's what you get for your typical Marvel Legends figure. The articulation does have some odd things going on with it, but for the most part, it's pretty typical of articulation for a Marvel Legends figure, so there's not really much to complain about in that regard. Now, at the price point of about $50 Canadian, $40 US, around that mark, I would say this isn't a terrible figure to get, but honestly, like, I feel like it's, like, if you compare this, like, to the Carnage, which I also did do a video on, so make sure to check that out. That was at least a really cool looking figure. It's got a bunch of details going on with it, more so with the character design, but in this one, it's mainly plain all the way throughout. And I think that that's the thing that really bothers me about this, is just that there's not a lot of detail going on with it. It looks too comic booky for me. It needs that live action sort of overlay on it, if that's what you want to call it. But I don't know. I could be talking crazy. At the end of the day, it does fit in really well with the rest of the MCU figures. And it's a welcome addition. And yeah, I want to see more X-Men characters. Bring in the X-Men characters, Hasbro, if you are listening. I want to see Cyclops. I want to see Storm. Hasbro, if you're not already doing it, please do those, because I cannot wait for the MCU version of the X-Men. We're probably going to be waiting a while for that to come out. But yeah, please get to those if you haven't already. But as for a rating, I'd probably give this figure, I would say a good maybe 6 or 7 out of 10. I feel like that's pretty deserving for it. Like I said, it's nothing too crazy, but if you want the Colossus in your collection from the Deadpool films and from the X-Men, this is totally a welcome addition. Now, that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below, who do you want to see from the X-Men live-action films in figure form? And as every YouTuber begs you to do, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.